Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are in a league race by Delta Online Racing. This is the BMW Z4 Championship and this one is at Road America. As you can see, I'm in pole position for this race. We're in lobby B out of I think 4 out of 5 lobbies, so no, was gutted to not make A lobby, but was very happy to at least be at the top here. Main job is just to get flying out of the gates, try and get up to maximum pace as soon as possible. That's something that I've previously struggled with, but I think the changes I've been making to practicing on Forza 7 compared to Forza 6 are actually helping me just be a little bit more consistent when off of the bat. So as we can see, we have got some cars like right behind us, someone by the name of Msport Erick. Really respectful racer, first time that I ever raced against him, and yeah, got nothing but good words to say about him. Really strong pace as well, which you shall see later on in the video. But for now, just wanted to show you the first lap of race 1. This happened on Friday night last week, and as you can see, I am starting to pull a little bit of a lead, which is good news. Ideally, I just want to get at least half a second ahead of people, and then I can focus more so on my own pace rather than everyone behind me. And because of that, I've purposely turned off some of the HUD settings for arrows, or the proximity arrows, I mean. Because I don't want to keep thinking about where the person behind me is. I just want to focus on my lines, because I'm sure, as many of you might be aware, when you're racing, the best thing you can do is just hold your line. If you're taking the best lines possible, it is typically quite difficult for people to overtake, even if they're trying to make a lunge after a long straight. So just trying to stick to that tactic for now, and it seems to be working fine. We're a few tenths ahead of Eric, and as we come into the last turn here, just coasting, feathering the throttle, and then trying to extend out as far as possible without hitting the grass. Coming up the hill. As for my gearing, I think I made it a bit longer than most people, so for there I change at about 140 miles an hour, and that's lap 1 done, and everything stayed the same there. So I'm just going to quickly show you a clip of me coming through this little kink in lap 5, and now I'm going to show you what happens in lap 7. I've built a fantastic lead, but I'm a little bit off, don't hit the curb, come to the outside curb, and it kicks me out. Now, looking back, I have no idea why I didn't just slam on the brakes. Instead, I just wanted to throttle through it all, but it meant that I completely wrecked my car. So, as you can see, the steering on the car does not seem all that great as I'm going through these turns. The car's like wobbling around a bit, and it just seems really unresponsive. And that solid 2-second gap that I had is now reduced to nothing. And I've got Eric, who's going to come on my inside. I told him in party chat just to take advantage of the straight. And as we can see, we've got Ken Patchy from AMS. He just goes storming by as well. So it's significant damage that I've got going into the very last lap of the race, which was gutting because it was such a strong lead that I built. And later on, after turn 2, we can see lucky sod. So now I've been demoted out of podium, and as we come into this left-hand turn, I see I'm the most of a second ahead of Mellish. However, I know that he'll be coming up quick, so I thought I'll just pull to the side, slow down a bit, and give him the chance to overtake at this mini carousel, because it's incredibly difficult to take it any other way. And even if my race is ruined, why ruin anyone else's? So yeah, bittersweet things. We come back to the kink, and look at this. I'm going under 130 miles an hour, nearly 120, and it just means that people who were miles back have just been able to catch up so much ground. And yeah, it's a terrible feeling. It's not the best way to spend your Friday night. I can claim that for sure, but it's just one of those things. It was either that after having that crash in lap 7, it's that I put it in the pits and then finish the race, or just muscle it out. And I thought it would be best to muscle it out because the pits in Road America are so long. It's about a minute from start to finish, that once I'm out, I'll be put in last place anyway. So, you know, I've lost about 9 positions now, which sucks because other than that I had a certain victory, but you know, still finished 10th out of I think it was 16 people, so not all too bad. I showed good pace as well. It was only hitting a 206 clean, but I think I was very consistent. I was hitting the same lap times, so we'll see what we can do for race 2. It was a full reverse grid, which I believe put me in 8th position out of everyone. So what we first want to do is see what we can do up into turn 1. We have Yogurt by our left hand side. I think my gearing was just a little bit more optimised off the line, which is good. So got to get a little bump from behind, which kind of knocks me off a little bit, but ended up taking on the outside. Now I decided to go on the inside because I want to be on the inside compared to Jabba. He makes a bit of a dive and I wasn't quite expecting it, and I didn't really have anywhere else to go, and yeah, things just happened there. So I'm sorry to the drivers that got affected, but I felt like my hand was forced in terms of where I could go. There was not much space, so it certainly spiced things up. You know, lap 1 for race 1, it was just about me running away. Now I'm truly in the thick of it, fighting with people, and you can see Dave, I believe, he's got the inside of the carousel, and I didn't really want to fight that. What I was trying to do was just tuck in behind him, and it didn't quite work out, but I'm going to do that now, and we'll just follow his line, because I don't want to be stuck side by side and giving other people opportunities to catch up. So coming into the left hand turn here, I think I took a better line than him, but a little bit of slide on the way out, so unfortunately I will just have to tuck behind him. Now I come far out, and you might think that it's me just understeering, and I'm not doing that unintentionally. I'm trying to come further out just so that I can have a straighter line, which you can see has benefited with me gaining a bigger distance against 9th and 10th place there. So main task up ahead is claiming 7th position, and I'm still in the same spot pretty much as what I've started. The depth goes a little bit deep, but manages to carry it through, so I'm able to keep in good realm with him at the moment, catch up a lot through the second to last turn. Now as we come to the last turn, I could have dived on the inside, but this off camber right hander, it doesn't bode well when going onto a long straight. It's best just to focus on carrying momentum out of the turn, and as you can see, I think with the power of just having better momentum coming out of the corner, and I've got a slightly bit of an edge compared to Odef here. So I think turn 1, lap 2, this is where I have to make my move, so I'm just going to brake a little bit later and then coast on the curb, let the curb rotate the car for me, and we are in 7th place, so that's great news. Truly a feisty situation, as you can see up ahead, 4 cars that are scrambling it out. I spent too much time looking at them, lose concentration, and this Odef who has to push me out of turn 2, so kind of thankful that he was there right behind me, otherwise I could have really lost a good few temps coming down this second straight of the track. But 3 cars up ahead, we're going to brake on the second marker and then just come all the way down. Someone's just got punted off. I'm sure that it was just a racing incident, no foul play per se, but just, you know, people fighting on such a tight turn as turn 3. It's not going to bode well when you've got multiple cars trying to go around there at the same time, but it bodes well for us right now because it means we're into 6th place. And we've also got the shot of catching up to the pack ahead. What we want to do is catch up to 5th, 4th and 3rd, and hopefully just bag away some overtakes, and from there focus on the people ahead. Because I see DOR Warwick, he's in 1st place and he's already got a good 3 or 4 seconds ahead of me. And as long as I'm stuck in traffic, it's going to play to his advantage to run away with victory. So we'll see what we can do. Hit the kink pretty smoothly, a lot better than what happened in the last race. I just closed the distance massively under braking, but it meant that Unseen Saint had to go a bit defensive. It kind of cut my line a bit, and that's why I ended up oversteering, as you can see. But it's just one of those things. Now, one thing to note though is coming into this final turn of lap 2, which I'll take pretty good actually, is we've got Msport Erick. So he started in practically last place and he has already come all the way up to 8th position, which is bad. Bad news for me, so need to stay clear. And I nearly had a moment with Unseen Saint right there. Come ahead to lap 4 and I've managed to close the distance, but kind of faff around with gears coming into turn 3. Coming into turn 4, I'm not quite on the perfect line, and then I end up just oversteering on the exit. Really kills my momentum coming out that turn, and you can just see the dial. Msport Erick, he's right up behind me, and I should have played defensive here, but he ended up just taking opportunity instead, so I've got to fight around the outside. which gives me the inside for the carousel. This is exactly what we want, and he's going to have to concede the position for now, and we'll just have to dig deep and try and get back up to pace. I think that's Williams Vaughan, previously known as Sluffertron, and a little bit wide there, and it's created a 3 wide situation after the kink. We can't fit through anywhere, so we're going to have to slow down. This gives Eric an opportunity to catch up. But then on Eric's left, he's got someone next to him as well, Odaf, who we raced with in the first lap. So we had two rows of 3 cars going side by side, and we were just scrambling it out. I think I buzzed Unseen Saint there, and it kind of messed up his turning, so really gutted about that. And if you are watching Unseen Saint, I'm very sorry about that. But as you can see, it's just a complete battle royale. Everyone's just scrapping it out with each other, and I've made a pretty good run out of that last turn. Managed to get the position back from Eric, but I don't seem to be able to pull against the car ahead. It seems like Savage might be running completely 0 aero on the front and rear aeros, so which is boding well for me, because coming out of turn 1 I've got a much better run, and turn 2 is where I really need to make it stick. He's closed on the inside for me, so which was a great defensive move by him. Really kept me into the curb, which meant I was losing a lot of speed, and that's why I've now got Eric, who's pretty much bump drafting me and pushing me along. It seems like both of them have better straight line speed than me, and what I need to do in turn 3 is just quickly move over to the inside curb, close it off, and then it means that I've got the safest route across the carousel, which I'm taking a little bit better than the lap before, but not a great deal. Up ahead we got Will Vaughan, so nearly had the exact same disaster as race 1. You know, it was bad enough to have it one time, they didn't want it again, and it just completely threw me off, and it meant that Eric was able to capitalise. So he takes the inside line, I then try and cut back, nearly kill him, and that's why I just slam on the brakes so hard, and it's given him a good half a second breathing space from me. I've now got people behind, and I have to really make sure that this exit is decent. It seems like it is, and I'm in safe distance from people behind. So we cut ahead to lap 6. Been a truly grueling 12 minutes of racing, that's for sure, and I've been able to reel it in a little bit from Eric, so he's still a few tenths ahead of me, but what I feel confident about is both of us have the pace that as long as we work together, we can actually chase up to 3rd position, and ideally 2nd position as well. So we're just going to see how things go from here. I'm not going to try to fight him, I'll just try and stay in line with him as we come into lap 7, and I actually done a 2:05.4 there, so it was by far my best lap of the night. That would have actually been A lobby material for sure if I managed to do that in qualifying, but it's neither here or there now. The main focus is this race, and we are now in the final lap, so as we come into turn 2, just riding a bit of that inside curve, which certainly does help with rotating the car around, but Eric got a much better exit than me, so I'm 1.7 attempts down though, so I'm actually going even faster, pretty much on for a 2:04.3 I think, but can't really focus on lap times right now. What we need to do is focus on the positions up ahead. Can we make a move on Eric, and can we also make a move on the boys up ahead, because you know, 2nd place is still up for grabs. I've ruined the run out of the carousel there, and it's just given away a good half a second. Don't need to worry about 6th position or anyone else behind, because we've already established a good lead in the last couple of laps. But what we really need to count on is the boys up ahead just scrapping away in this last half lap of the race. So things certainly do get tense, whether it's community races or even just multiplayer online. You know, people start to get a little bit desperate, so what we want to do is just safely come through the kink, which we do a half decent job at. We haven't been able to punch the lead up, but what we want to do is come at the end of this straight, just brake very late after the 2nd board on the grass, and we've managed to half the distance now. Now we're literally bumper to bumper with Eric. Everyone's squished up, and this is just going to come into the craziest ending to a race ever. So we're all in one row, and then we see William Vaughan. He just goes for an insane dive in the last turn, makes it stick. I nudge Eric under braking by accident, but he manages to get a nice line. But as we're coming up the hill, it seems like my gears are more optimised, so I've got full horsepower and I just sneak ahead of him as we cross the line and we take 4th place. So absolute insane race. What can I say? It's just respectful racing from everyone. It was really fun. You always get that from like B Lobby on Delta Online Racing, so it was just really good fun. And I managed to get the fastest lap of the race, although it was a dirty one. So credit to Warwick for winning race 2. Massive respect to second place there for holding off the gap. And yeah, that was just a really fun video. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. Please subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you again soon.